Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, April 22nd, 2022. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's NBA playoffs, NHL, Major League Baseball games, look ahead to today and the weekend's games in each sport. Major League Soccer will go over the weekend slate. We'll go over the current leaderboard at the Zurich Classic. We'll talk some NASCAR and make some picks for the weekend. We will preview Sunday's episode of American Idol, news and notes and best bet. All right, we'll start the NBA playoffs. 3 games last night, and we have more games to discuss for the weekend. Grizzlies over the Timberwolves, 104-95 to take a 2-1 series lead. Desmond Bane at 26 lead the Memphis in scoring, and D'Angelo Russell had 22 points and 8 assists. Mavs over Jazz 126-118 to take a 2-1 series lead. Jalen Brunson again 31 points, and Donovan Mitchell 32 points and 6 assists. Warriors over the Nuggets 118-113. Stephen Curry had 27 points, and Nikola Jokic single-handedly kept the Nuggets in that game with 37 points and 18 boards. Now we look ahead to the games being played tonight. First up, we have the Heat and the Hawks, 7 o'clock on ESPN. My projection for this game is Heat by 4.5 total, 220 and 7/10, and that's without, obviously, Clint Capella. And it is at let's see here. 1.5 and 221.5. I'm going to lay to 1.5 with the Heat, but do I feel good about it? No. The Hawks are a team that a lot of people feel that could potentially get back in the series, and the best play on the board is lay with the Heat, so I think they're going to go up 3-0. 8:30 ABC, Bucks Bulls. My projection is the Bulls by 2.5 total, 225 and a 20th. And it's Milwaukee 2.5 total, 222.5. Wrong team's favored. Give me the Bulls plus the 2.5 plus 118. No Chris Middleton. The Bucks should not be favored in Chicago. They shouldn't be favored on the road and against anybody. Maybe other than like the Pelicans or something like that, who host the Suns tonight at 9:30 on ESPN. My projection is the Suns by 6.25 total, 220 and 4/5. And it's 1.5 and 216. I'm going to lay the 1.5 with the Suns. I think this is a big Chris Paul game back in New Orleans. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 with the Suns as they take a 2-1 series lead. Saturday, 2 o'clock TNT, 76ers Raptors. I don't have totals out. I did lines. I have pick'em for this game. And Philly looks like they're a 3-point favorite tomorrow afternoon. I'll take the 3 points for one last hurrah at the Raptors. Mavs Jazz at 4:30 on TNT. My projections Jazz by 1. Luka's supposed to be back. And it's 5, giving the Mavs getting all the points. Celtics Nets, 7:30 on ESPN. My projection is Brooklyn by 1/4. And it's 3.5 and 223. I'll take the Celtics getting the points because I just think it'll be close. And at 10 o'clock on ESPN, you have the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves. My projection is Memphis by 2.25. It's 2.5. Total's 232.5. I'll go under. And I didn't do any totals or projections for Sunday because it's hard to project with injuries and who could be playing and whatnot. 1 o'clock ABC's Bucks Bulls. 3:30 ABC's Warriors Nuggets. 7 o'clock TNT's Hawks Heat. Well, Heat at the Hawks, I should say. 9:30 on TNT is the Suns at the Pelicans. All right, now I'll move on to the NHL. We'll recap the games from yesterday night and look ahead to tonight in a busy weekend. Flyers over to Habs 6-3, Panthers over the Red Wings 5-2, Sabres over the Devils 5-2, Pens over the Bruins 4-0, Canes over the Jets 4-2, Rangers over the Owls 6-3, Lightning over the Maple Leafs 8-1, Wild over the Canucks 6-3, Flames over the Stars 4-2, Kings over the Blackhawks 4-1, and the Blues over the Sharks 3-1. All right, 4 games tonight, 7 o'clock. You have the Senators and the Blue Jackets, meaningless game. Columbus minus 120, Ottawa even money, over under 6.5, over is even money, unders minus 122. Ottawa plus 1.5 is minus 260, Columbus minus 1.5 is plus 215. I'm going to go with the tie 3:30. 8 o'clock, NHL that were Kraken Wild. Big game for Minnesota to try to get home ice for the series against the Blues. Wild minus 310, Kraken plus 245, over under 6.5, over is even money, unders minus 122. Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 108, Wild minus 1.5 is minus 111, coming off the big win over Vancouver last night. I really like the over in this spot. 9 o'clock, Avs Oilers, huge game. Avs still going for the President's Trophy. Oilers trying to lock up second place. Avs minus 125, Edmonton plus 104, over under 6.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 198, Edmonton plus 1.5 is minus 245. I'm going to go Edmonton at home to upset the Avs. I really like it. And 10:30, you have the Caps and the Coyotes. Meaningless game for the Coyotes. Caps need the game to try to finish in third in the Metro. Caps minus 420. Coyotes plus 320. Over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Caps minus 2.5 is plus 118. Coyotes plus 2.5 is minus 142. Yikes. I like the over at even money. All right, Saturday, 12:30, Islanders Sabres, Penguins Red Wings, Hurricanes Devils. 3 o'clock on ABC is the Rangers and the Bruins. 7 o'clock, you have the Canadiens and the Senators, the Preds against the Lightning, Maple Leafs Panthers. 8 o'clock is the Kraken and the Stars, Blackhawks Sharks, Canucks Flames at 10, Blues Coyotes, and Ducks Kings at 10:30. So many big games on Saturday. Sunday, we have a bunch of big ones too. 1 o'clock, Red Wings Devils, Hurricanes Islanders, Oilers Blue Jackets on TNT. At 4 o'clock, you have the Penguins and the Flyers. 7 o'clock, you have the Lightning and the Panthers, Maple Leafs Capitals, Avs Jets, Bruins Canadiens. 8 o'clock, Wild Predators. 8:30, Blues Ducks, and 10 o'clock, you have the Sharks and the Golden Knights. All right, Major League Baseball. We'll go over the games from yesterday, look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Guardians over the White Sox 6-3, Tigers over the Yanks 3-0, Mets over the Giants 6-2, Blue Jays over the Red Sox 3-2, Twins over the Royals 1-0, A's over the Orioles 6-4, D-backs over the Nats 4-3, Marlins over the Cardinals 5-0, Pirates over the Cubs 4-3, and the Rangers over the Mariners 8-6. All right, today, 2:20 of the Pirates and the Cubs. Jose Quintana and Drew Smyly. Cubs minus 162, Pirates plus 136, over under 7.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 152, Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 126. I'm going to go with the over. 6:30 on Apple TV, Cardinals Reds. Steven Matz and Hunter Green. Cards minus 126, Reds plus 108, over under 8.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Cards minus 1.5 is plus 130, Reds plus 1.5 is minus 156. I'm going to go Reds first half money line plus 106. 7 o'clock, the Guardians and the Yankees. We don't know who's going for Cleveland, and Jamison Tyone's going for New York. It looks like Eli Morgan's going for Cleveland. Yanks are minus 210. Guardians plus 176. Over under 9. Overs minus 102. And there's minus 120. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 114. Yankees minus 1.5 is minus 105. Feels like the Yankees are in a lot of close games. I'm going to take the Guardians on the run line plus 1.5 at minus 114. I think the Guardians are better than the record. Are better than people are giving credit for, given they're 7-5. Brewers Phillies. Freddie Peralta and Ranger Suarez. Phils minus 126. Brewers plus 108. Over under 8. Minus 110 each way. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 100. Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 164. I really like the over in this game a lot. Giants Nationals. Sam Long and Patrick Corbin. Giants minus 130. Nats plus 110. Over under 9. Minus 110 each way with the over of 9. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 134. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 162. I'm going to go with the over 9. Red Sox Rays. Michael Wacha, Corey Kluber. Rays minus 142. Red Sox plus 120. Over under 8. Minus 110 each way. Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 176. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 146. I'm going to go with the under 8. Minus 110. I don't feel good about the pick, but I like it. Rockies Tigers. Antonio Senzatella and Tariq Skubal. Tigers minus 140, Rockies plus 120, over under 7.5, overs minus 114, others minus 106. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 182, Tigers minus 1.5 is plus 150. I'm going to go with the underdog Rockies to keep it going. Plus 120 to win outright in Detroit. 720 Marlins Braves, Trevor Rogers and Kyle Wright. Braves minus 148, Marlins plus 126, over under 8.5, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 52, Braves minus 1.5 is plus 126. I'm going to go with the Marlins as an underdog to win outright. Trevor Rogers is better than what he's been this year. 8 o'clock, Blue Jays Astros. Is this your ALCS preview? I don't know. Ross Stripling and Justin Verlander. Astros minus 176, Blue Jays plus 148, over under 8.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Blue Jays plus 1.5 is minus 142, Astros minus 1.5 is plus 118. George Springer back in Houston. I kind of like Toronto to win this game outright at plus 148. 9:30, Orioles Angels, Bruce Zimmerman and Reed Detmers. Angels minus 190, Orioles plus 160, over under 8.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 134. Angels minus 1.5 is plus 112. I'm going to go, believe it or not, with the Orioles in the first half at plus 140. Bruce Zimmerman's actually one of the more improved pitchers so far this year, so I'm going to go Orioles first half. Royals Mariners, Brad Keller and Chris Flexen. Mariners minus 142, Royals plus 120, over under 7.5, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 176. And Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 146. I'm going to go with the over 7.5 and minus 114. That feels easy to me. Mets Diamondbacks. David Peterson and Zach Gallen. Tremendous pitching matchup. Mets minus 130. D-backs plus 110. Over under 8.5. Minus 110 each way. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 116. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 140. I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks first half result at plus 135. And last but not least, on Apple TV, Rangers A's, Glenn Otto and Adam Oller. We don't have the lines in front of us. The over-unders 8, overs minus 102, and others minus 120. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 140. A's plus 1.5 is minus 170. I love the over at minus 102. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so the weekend we go. Saturday, 1 o'clock, Guardians, Yankees. Nestor Cortez, and we don't know what's going for Cleveland. Giants, Nats. Alex Wood, and we don't know what's going for the Nats. Rocks, Tigers, Austin Gomber, and B.U. Birksey. 2:20, Pirates, Cubs. Zach Thompson and Kyle Hendricks. 4 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, you have the White Sox and the Twins. Vince Velasquez, Dylan Bundy. The Twins should win that game, although I don't like Dylan Bundy. I just think Vince Velasquez sucks. Brewers, Phillies, Adrian Hauser and Zach Wheeler. Rangers, A's, Martin Perez and Frankie Montas. Cardinals, Reds, Dakota Hudson and Tyler Mahle. Blue Jays, Astros, Alek Manoah and Jose Urquidy. Definitely better on the Blue Jays in that game. 6 o'clock, Red Sox, Rays. Rich Helmino is going for Tampa. 7:20, Marlins, Braves. Eliezer Hernandez and Ian Anderson. 8 o'clock, Mets, D-backs. We don't know who's pitching for that yet. 8:30, Dodgers Padres. We know it's going for the Dodgers, and Jarvis is going for San Diego. 9 o'clock, Orioles Angels. Spencer Watkins and Noah Syndergaard. And Royals Mariners, Chris Bubick and Matt Barsh. Sunday, 1 o'clock, the Red Sox and the Rays, Nathan Eovaldi and Shane McClanahan. Rockies Tigers, Chad Cole and Tyler Alexander. 1:30, Guardians Yankees, Aaron Savali, Garrett Cole. Marlins Braves, Jesus Luzardo and Bryce Edler. Giants Nationals, Logan Webb and Josiah Gray. Cardinals Reds, Adam Wainwright, Nick Lodolo. 2 o'clock, White Sox Twins, Lucas Giolito and Chris Archer. Blue Jays Astros, Yusei Kikuchi and Luis Garcia. Pirates Cubs at 2:20, JT Brubaker and Justin Steele. 4 o'clock, Orioles Angels. We don't know what's going for Baltimore, and LA's going Jose Suarez. Rangers A's, Spencer Howard and Cole Irvin. Royals Mariners, Carlos Hernandez and Robbie Ray. Dodgers Padres, Clayton Kershaw and Sean Manaea. Mets D-backs, Tyler McGill and Madison Bumgarner. And last but not least, Sunday Night Baseball, the Brewers and the Phillies, Eric Lauer and Aaron Nola. Wrong game on Sunday Night Baseball. It should be Dodgers Padres, but they went with the Brewers and the Phillies for the Bryce factor. All right, Major League Soccer. We're not going to do betting picks because of time, but we'll certainly go over the weekend's window. All right, Saturday, 3 o'clock. Dallas hosting Houston. Philly hosting Club Football Montreal. 5 o'clock, Minnesota hosting Chicago. 7:30, DC United hosting New England. 8:30, Austin hosting Vancouver. Kansas City hosting Columbus. 9 o'clock, Colorado hosting Charlotte. 10 o'clock, Portland hosting Salt Lake. San Jose hosting Seattle. And 10:30, LA Galaxy hosting Nashville. And Sunday, 1 o'clock on ESPN, Miami hosting Atlanta. 3:30 on ESPN, Orlando hosting the Red Bulls. 5 o'clock, Cincinnati hosting LAFC. And 5 o'clock, you have Toronto at NYCFC. So, the Yankees and NYCFC. Oh, they're playing at Citi Field. That makes more sense now. That makes so much more sense because the Yankees have a game against the Guardians. And why would NYCFC have a home game literally hours after that? But this is being played at Citi Field, which is different for NYCFC. I had no idea that they were going to be playing games at Citi Field. All right, now we'll move on to golf, and we'll look at the leaderboard for the Zurich Classic. It's been an interesting tournament so far. And on top with the score of 13 under, you have Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele. In second with the score, but they have a total of 14 under. Matthew Neesmith and Taylor Moore tied for second with the 12 under. Tied for third with 11 under. Aaron Ray and David Lipsky. Tommy Gady and Robert Garrigus. Doc Redman and Sam Ryder tied for sixth with 10 under. Sam Burns, Billy Herschel, Bubba Watson, Harold Varner III. Cam Triangle, Wyndham Clark. Tied for ninth with 9 under. Matt Wallace and Sam Horsfield. Keegan Bradley and Brendan Seal. Trey Mullinax and Wesley Bryant. Sang Yil No and Michael Kim. Tyrell Hatton and Danny Willett. Sung Kong and John Huh. Hank Labodia and Chase Seifert. Lee Hodges and Vincent Whaley. Tied for 17th with 8 under. Jason Day and Jason Shrievener. Joel Dodman and Stefan Yeager. Bryce Garnett and Scott Starlings. Brian Stewart and Russell Knox. Scotty Scheffler and Ryan Palmer. Garrett Higo and Brandon Grace, Shane Lowry and Ian Poulter, Will Zalatoris and Davis Riley, Justin Lauer and Dylan Wu, Callum Tarrant and David Skins, Brendan Todd and Chris Kirk, James Hahn and Kevin Chappell, Tyler Duncan and Adam Schenk. Tied for 30th with 7 under, Emiliano Grillo and Rafa Cabrera-Bello, Bill Haas and Jay Haas, Cam Smith and Mark Leachman, Victor Hovland and Colin Mariqua, Richie Wierenski and Peter Yolim, Adam Hadwin and Adam Svepson, Seth Thaglia and Beau Hostler, Michael Gillick and Ryan O'Moore, Seamus Power and Gray McDowell, Sanjay Im and Ben Hanan, Kyle Stanley and Camilo Vegas, Ryan Brett and Mark Hubbard, Henry Higgs and Austin Smotherman, Doug Gim and Matthias Schwab, Patrick Rogers and Brandon Wu, and Scott Gachowski in D8 points. Projected not to make the cut, which is 7 under. Tied for 46 with 6 under. Adam Long and Bo Hogg, Jason Headley and Jonathan Bird, Charles Schwartzel and Kristen Ziedenhout, Lucas Herbert and Arjun Wall, Tom Hogue and Paul Bargin, Martine Laird and Robert McIntyre, Austin Cook and Jason Duffner, Danny Lee and Sangmoon Bay, Kevin Kisner and Scott Brown, Lucas Glover and Chester V, Sergio Garcia and Tommy Fleetwood, Taylor Gooch and Max Homa, Scott Piercy and Sean O'Hare, Denny McCarthy and Ben Coles, Justin Rose and Henrik Stenson, Curtis Thompson and Nick Hardy, Seth Reeves and Jared Wolf, Max McGreevy and Andrew Novak, and Kurt Katayama and Kurdek Fabron. Tied for 65th with 5 under, Bo Van Pelt and Ben Martin, Brendan Hagen and Cam Piercy, Davey Vanderwall and Brett Druitt. Tied for 68th with 4 under, Seb Straka and Grayson Sig, Jim Herman and Vaughn Taylor, Chad Ramey and Joshua Creel, Martin Trainer and Jim Noss, Nick Watney and Charlie Hoffman, Robert Streb and Troy Merritt. Tied for 74th with 3 under, Alex Loren and Henrik Norlander, JT Potts and Patton Kazir, Keith Mitchell and Brant Snecker, Alex Smalley and Hayden Buckley. Tied for 78th with 2 under, Kevin Tway and Kelly Kraft, and Maverick McGeely and Joseph Brumlett. And withdrawing from the competition, Joaquin Neiman and Mito Pereira. All right, now I'll move on to NASCAR. Racing this weekend from Talladega. We just have Xfinity tomorrow and Cup on Sunday. You won't see the trucks until Friday, May 6th. So they have a couple weeks of a bye here. So now I'm going to pull up DraftKings for the Talladega odds. Like I say all the time, FanDuel really doesn't have great odds for NASCAR. DraftKings are much better. So the AG Pro 300. So my pick to win this Talladega race. Let's go with Let's go with Jed Burton in 18-1. I like that one a lot. I think Jed Burton's going to come through. And then the Cup Series, the Geico 500 from Talladega on Sunday afternoon. They actually have odds for the pole, which is insane. So, for this race, I'm going to go with somebody that I think fits this track well. He's in double-digit odds, and that is Chase Elliott at 14-1 doing the Geico 500. All right, now I'm going to talk about Sunday's episode of American Idol. It's going to be mentored by Gabby Barrett. I believe it's a country week with the top 14. They're going to drop down to 11 after the show on Sunday. So I think the top 11 gets unveiled on the Monday show, and voting starts after the Sunday show. So your top 14 is Ava, Christian, Lady K, Hunter Girl, Dan, Leah, Nicolina, Noah, Emerson, Fritz, Allegra, Jay, Mike, and Tristan. So, if I had to do an early forecast on who stays and who goes, I think that Jay will bounce back. He did not belong in the judges' choices. I think he'll be bounced back and he'll be safe. I think Mike Parker's on the chopping block, so I don't think he's going to survive. I think Tristan has won people over. He'll survive. I think Allegra will survive. Fritz is great. I think he's going to survive. Emerson, I have surviving. Someone who I do not think will survive is Noah Thompson. I know he's somebody I keep doubting. I think that Ava will survive. I think Christian's going to survive. I think Hunter Girl will absolutely survive. I think Nicolina, Leah, Dan, and Lady K. I think those people, are borderline for me. I think the one that will unfortunately say goodbye to the show is going to be Lady K. I like Lady K a lot, but usually there's a surprising person voted off, and I'm going to say it's Lady K. It could have been Jay last week, but the judges saved his butt. So I think Mike's going to go home. I think Noah goes home, and I think Lady K goes home. And then your top 11 will be Ava Maybe, Christian Gordino, Hunter Girl, Dan Marshall, Leah Marlene, Nicolina, Emerson Flora, Fritz Hager, Allegra Miles, Jay, and Tristan Crescent. So that's who I think your top 11 is going to be coming out of Monday night's episode. But my picks could very well change after the episode on Sunday. But if they one of those people I have going home right now knocks it out of the ballpark, then I'll make a change to some of these picks on the Monday episode of the podcast. All right, news and notes time. Some things that need to be discussed before we say goodbye. Earl Thomas wants to return at the age of 33. We'll see. Maybe the Rams take a chance on him. Deshaun Jackson says that he might retire. Open to playing for the Chiefs, the Packers, the Browns, or the Broncos. I think the Chiefs and the Packers have the biggest needs. I think either one of those two teams makes sense. The Browns makes 0 sense unless he wants to play with Deshaun so bad. And the Broncos, it's Russell Wilson. Cardinals GM Steve Keim shuts down any potential move of Kyler Murray. He says 0 chance. Sad news in hockey. Guy LaFleur passes away at the age of 70, the former 5-time Stanley Cup champion with the Montreal Canadiens and Hall of Famer. Thoughts and prayers to his family and his former teammates and his friends. Sad news on this Friday morning. A lot of hockey legends have been passing away recently, which is really sad. Klay Thompson bombs Jordan Poole's post-game interview with TNT and screams, "It's a pool party!" That was really funny. John Morant clowns Karl Anthony Towns' soundbite as Cat was excited to be back in Minnesota, and so is John Morant. A couple NBA draft declarations. Wendell Moore of Duke will enter the draft, and officially declaring Chet Holmgren, who some people think will go number 1 overall. As is Shaedon Sharpe after joining Kentucky in January. Alex Cora tests positive for COVID and has mild symptoms and will not travel with the team to Tampa Bay. Hopefully he'll be back in the dugout sooner rather than later. There was a big brawl in a minor league game where a Red Sox prospect appeared to take issue with the pitcher's comment, which is crazy. NBA playoff injury news. Devin Booker can miss 2 to 3 weeks with a grade 1 hamstring strain. That is really bad news for the Suns. I think that there's a possibility that the Suns might lose before Booker comes back. So, Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Cam Johnson, all of them have to step up in Booker's absence. They cannot win a championship without Booker. They need him back, I think. Luka expected back Saturday against the Jazz. That's really good news. Bad news for the Bucks. Chris Middleton out for 2 weeks as he'll be out for the rest of the series against the Bulls. Now they got to find a way to beat the Bulls. If you ask me who's more likely to lose their first round series, the Suns or the Bucks, I think it's the Bucks. Because the Suns are a deeper team than the Bucks. Although Giannis is the best player between the two teams, and he could single-handedly beat the Bulls. But I know both those losses for those teams in Game 2 are really alarming. But I think the Suns are more likely to survive in a big way without Booker than the Bucks are without Middleton. Although I still think, if you ask me, that both teams will win their respective series, although they may go 6 or 7 rather than 5. Ben Simmons to play Game 4 as long as rehab remains on course. That is insane. The Nets were lying to us about Ben Simmons this whole time, just like they lied to us about James Harden. So, we'll see about that. And the NFL to drop the schedule May 12th. And the select additional games will be announced in days, weeks leading up to the full release. So May 12th, that is a Thursday. So that's obviously going to be a podcast that I do solo and I recap the schedule. So that should be a lot of fun. And last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel, is between 2 baseball overs. I love the Mariners-Rangers over. And I love the over between the Brewers and the Phillies. I think the Phillies one's more realistic because the Phillies offense is really good. Freddie Peralta's not that good. Even the Brewers offense, I think, could potentially wake up here. So I'm going to go over 8. I'm going to lay a half unit on over 8 between the Brewers and the Phillies for my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything from the weekend and looking ahead to everything going on Monday. News and notes, idle, and best bet for you as well. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, everyone.